Welcome back, everybody. We've got an awesome video for you today. So Lindsay and Jerome are both with us. Guys, how you doing? How you feeling?
Good,
thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you both being here. This is going to be awesome because I think it's going to really, like I said to you a second ago, transition from the video Lindsay and I put out earlier this week to almost like a part 2, but I think it just deserves its own video. So earlier we talked about how to find high probability trades. And if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it above and in the description so you can go watch Lindsay and I talking about just how to identify and take advantage of higher probability trades. But there's a big piece of trading that goes along with finding good trades. It's staying alive and staying patient and waiting for those good trades to come to you, so to speak. And I think both of you embody that idea so well. We talk about funding companies. We're going to talk about the right way to get started. But first, Jerome, I want to ask you something because I think you'll bring a fresh perspective to this. When you got into trading, did you ever think of it as a business of survival? Or did you just think of it as a business of like hunt, go kill, make my money, do my thing?
Yeah. So probably the second answer there, like I definitely did think of it as just kind of jump in, kind of go all in type of mentality. I didn't really think of it too much on the long term. And especially with trading, it is something where you have to ensure your survival. You can't stuff it up in the long run. Otherwise,
right.
Yeah, you're just going to blow up.
Right. I think too, if you aren't like in this mindset of I need to survive, if you're in this mindset of like I need to go make money, you end up actually taking bad trades more often than not.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think having that long-term mentality and just making sure you are in like that survival mode kind of ensures your survivability. But on the flip side, I guess it can't make you too conservative in a way, because
that's
at the end
the
of the
line.
Day, we are here to make. Yeah.
Me and Lindsay talk about that all the time. That is the line that we try to walk, right, Lindsay? Of not being fearful to trade, but still following the rules and executing. It's a very gray line.
Yeah, it's just trying to find that balance. And especially with trading, like, I mean, the whole goal is to make money, but
and you
also
think you have to trade to make money.
Exactly. Especially for me, because I'm in that mentality of still kind of coming from a 9-to-5 steady paycheck week to week. But in trading, it's just the complete opposite. Like there's consistency in your routine and your daily habits, but the market's never going to present these ideas all the
time. That's a great point. That is such a good point. I feel like we preach so much that consistency in your gym and your home life and your reading and your self-development, it's so important. But you have to keep in mind that the market itself might not be that consistent. You actually might be that, bro. That's very well said. That's the first nugget of the video right there. So let me ask Lindsay a question now too, just to kind of get the wheels turning. Lindsay, I feel like you have always been somebody from when we started trading, when we started making videos, that I've always put you up on the pedestal a little bit just for being more patient than everybody else, because I see you, I think you've helped me feel confident that, hey, you can generate a lot of ideas, but you don't need to take those trades. What do you think has been the key to your patience? Can you give us a simple answer to that?
Because I know what I think it's been from the period of not having consistency for 2.5 years before I come to ASFX, then finding the consistency and finding what works on the setups that have been working for me. So when day ones don't present, I'm not taking them because I don't want to go back to being inconsistent like I was initially. I think that's got me to be so
That's a great answer. It's a great answer. I think that that's a woman characteristic too. I think men are more likely to touch the stove, get burned. Ow, that's hurt. That hurts me. Let me touch it again. 100%. Where women, they'll be like, okay, that hurt. I'm never going to do that again. I'm going to do everything possible to not do that. Don't you agree, Jerome?
Yeah, 100%. That's, of course.
So it's interesting because I think, just to kind of go back to something you said, Jerome, too. So as a trader, you think you need to trade to make money. So before we get into the funding companies and we talk about the capitalization of traders and how so many traders are just undercapitalized, let's talk about this mindset of I want to trade, I want to make money, I'm here to make money. But in order to do that, I actually have to be okay with not trading sometimes and waiting for a better setup. Both of you, if you could, one at a time, what's something that you keep at the forefront of your mind to help you stay in that tunnel vision focus of survival over everything else?
Yeah, I'll let Lindsay go first on this one because she'll probably have a good answer.
Lindsay always has good answers.
Yeah.
I think the vision, I always go back to the same thing though. It's once you see something working for you and bringing you that consistency, I don't stray from it.
It's amazing because like that just shows your decision-making ability. You know what I mean? Like that's so powerful.
That is so simple for me to say, but that's what it comes down to, because of going back to just what I said the very first time, being so inconsistent for so long, then finding my edge and finding the high probability setups that come my way now. That
it was like a light switch for you.
It was a light bulb moment.
Right.
So even when I go back to like my real successful time from coming into ASX started in May and came right through to September to be slowed down. And that period of time really got me to be the disciplined, patient trader that I am today. And that is because I just took the high probability setups consistently for the months. I got consistently profitable and I haven't swayed from that.
What were you going to say, Jerome?
So, I was just going to, that slow period we have from starting in September, I think that was a lot of tests. That was a big test for me, especially for coming in to ASFX in April, and these clean entries that we would all be involved in or have to take advantage of was presenting pretty much, at least one or two of those good entries per week, maybe not even more.
Right.
So coming into September and October and just kind of the market slowing down a bit because of obviously everything going on in the world, it was just kind of, it really kind of gave me a perspective check and just being like, okay, the market's not presenting anything. I just had to find these ways and always kind of check myself to stay on the right track and not start slipping on my edge.
What were the ways that you would do that?
Going back and just looking at the trade ideas, looking at the high probability setups and just kind of finding what, like exactly what Lindsay was saying, what was working for me since April and what didn't work. And basically all the trades that were presenting, they were the ones that I would get burnt in. So I'm going to admit, like, it was hard not trying to take those trades, especially not trading for a while. I just wanted to get involved just for the fact of taking the trade.
Just bro, we're here to trade. That's such an important thing. And I'm sure people 100%, if not 99% of the people listening are going to say, I feel the same way as Jerome. I've been in that. I've been there. Lindsay has been there. If you're in this business for any amount of time, you're going to have a situation that comes across your desk where one day you really want to trade. Maybe it's 5-6 days after your last trade and you see an entry and it's what we would maybe call a C setup. We could read it, could see it, identify it, but it's just not that great. But that itch comes in and it makes you take that trade. So just being aware of that, do you think that awareness of like, okay, this isn't the best trade. I know I want to trade, but I'm not going to do it because it's not the best trade. Is that awareness creating fear from trading in the future? Or do you look at that as like, I'm being sharp, I'm just going to wait for my next trade?
Initially, it was kind of, I was developing like a fear to get involved, take advantage of the trade, because I didn't want my first trade in like 4 or 5 weeks to be a loss.
Right. Nobody would.
Coming back to that long-term mentality, you kind of have to collect yourself and be like, all right, this is long-term. Like, this is 2 months out of the year we're experiencing a bit of slowness. Like, we know it's going to pick up. The market goes in cycles. So having that long-term mindset, just going back in historic data and just kind of
seeing the patterns,
like backtesting.
Yep.
Exactly. You're going to have slow periods in the market. Exactly. So adapting that long-term mentality, 100% makes me more confident just to kind of be disciplined, be patient, and just wait for those higher probability setups to come back, because that's what's working for me. Like, as soon as you start taking these lower probability trades, you don't know when the market's going to pick up. Exactly. So you could take a loss, you could even win a few, but over the long term, that's when it's going to affect your overall trade performance.
Well, what if you dig yourself in a hole? With Lindsay and I think we talked about this the other day, like people that you've gotten on coaching calls, Lindsay, and they're telling you that they've dug themselves in a hole, and you're sitting here saying, but there hasn't been any trades. Like, show me a good trade. And they can't. They've now dug themselves in a hole. And today's a great day for us to talk about this, because look at this morning, 4 entries, 2 A1s, 2 D1s. Like, it's beautiful.
It's fab to watch. I just check my cat. I was like, oh my God, the market.
Finally, right. Everybody.
But I think it's exciting.
The biggest lesson for me today, what I wrote in my journal, was that the market does not care about anybody. And if anything, like you said a few minutes ago, Jerome, this period of time is testing people. And if that, I would take that a step further and I would say it's crushing people. This is when people are taking C setups and blowing accounts when the market is choppy like this. So when the market tests me and it doesn't care about me, I still have to show up ready every day, suit, armor, ready to roll, ready for those entries. Because then when today happens, you want to be on top of the market and say, yeah, I got you. Like, don't try to fool me. You know what I'm saying? And I think it takes experience. And that's why we try to do these videos. That's why I try to make so much content, because it's easy to say it and it's easy to hear it. It's way different to last 6 years and feel it. Like, feel that there are great trading times and slower times. What were you going to say, Lindsay?
I was just, as I said earlier, even on my Instagram, how even I can see it in the community. You know, I'm not naming MD, but I sat with like a big Cheshire cat this morning, because I know the guys who have sat patient and disciplined throughout the last few weeks, and then to see them get involved in the market today on the right setup that me and Austin are saying, are like, yes.
And it's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to see that people are watching and taking on board what we are saying, because they're obviously seeing it working for us, and that they're duplicating it.
100%. And it takes an army. This is the saying, it takes an army. This is where, because me saying it alone, it doesn't mean anything. No matter how much experience I think I have, how many years, people will still need to learn it for themselves. However, when you're saying it and doing it, Jerome, you're saying it, and 50 other people are saying it, it's a lot more impactful.
What I think also helps is, before we move on from this topic, that we've seen it now come in, that obviously when, I'm not saying September was a total flat month. There was sometimes it just never happened on our trading sessions within our time. There was some high probability trades, but what I think it brings back to people is that they've saw us come through this, and like they can listen to us now and say the market will come back when it's ready. It will come back. We just have to be patient to let it come back. You gotta be there. You gotta be there.
You can't run out of money between now and when the market comes back around. That is the biggest piece of it.
So it's nice to watch.
I agree with you 100%. But I think we can actually go a little bit deeper on this. The issue of these traders in this slower time getting chopped around and not being patient, the issue itself, I think, is rooted in what? The want to trade. Okay, why do you want to trade? You want to make money. So really, what the issue of trading when you don't need to be trading because they're choppy markets, it's not a great setup, whatever it is, that issue is really rooted in the need for capital, the need for money. So let's talk about the realistic fact that it is really hard for new traders to live off their trading. And there are options now, like these funding companies, these prop firms, that can actually take a lot of the stress off of you. So let's actually start there, because I do believe, and this is not from personal experience because I haven't traded with a prop firm, I only work there on the education side, but I do believe when you are trading someone else's money, you are possibly going to make better decisions because it's not your rent money, it's not your food money, it's not your engagement ring money. What do you guys think about that?
I feel like
I agree 100%. Especially like some people know, like my position I'm in, trading the capital that I have, and it's enough to sustain my lifestyle and living expenses, but at the same time it is a lot harder to put that capital at risk because it is my hard-earned money. I've seen a lot of people, and I've also seen a lot of people that work for banks as traders saying the same thing, that trading your own capital is very, very tough. Trading a bank's money, they don't care if you lose 100K. Like, that's nothing to them. To a retail trader, that's like,
that could be your yearly salary.
Exactly. So trading someone else's money definitely takes a lot off that psychological edge and that fear of, you don't want to lose, especially if you have emotional connection to your money. That's why you hear a lot of people say, don't risk money you can't afford to lose. Obviously, I'm happy to lose the capital I have. Like, I'll be fine if I do. I have a reserve account. It's not going to affect my life. But at the same time, it still is my hard-earned money.
It's still hard-earned money. Like, and especially because I think someone like yourself, it's a little bit different than me, but somewhat, still similar, because we both have made money in other businesses or in investments, and then want to turn that money into trading money. It's like, bro, I worked hard to make that money. It's not like I just went and did a 9 to 5 and clocked in, clocked out. Like, I worked my ass off to make it.
Yeah, you sacrificed a lot. Exactly.
I think too, like in this situation, in this current environment of the market where it is a little choppier, at least for the way that we trade, having someone else's money just knowing that it's there. And this is, again, we don't endorse any prop firms or anything like that at ASFX, but just having that money, especially with no challenge in the way, like some of these companies offer, and you can be patient and you can actually just say, hey, prove to the prop firm that you can make a certain percentage, and then they're going to give you more, and there's no time, no challenge, no none of that crap. And I think that seems like there's potential to capitalize some of these new traders. And I think you see more people successful in the long run if more people maybe went that route, just because if I don't have to take the money that I saved up for the last year and put it in my account and get this rolling, and I know I can just go with one of these prop firms and still have that money that I built, you might trade better. Do you agree, Lindsay?
I do, and I think emotions are not coming into play the same. So if it's, say,
100%.
These people are coming in, they're trying to turn their accounts in like overnight, weeks, months, because they're just trying to escape their 9-to-5 job, but they're forgetting that they've still got their mortgage to pay, their rent to pay, whatever it is to pay. And if you're sitting at that trading desk with all this weight upon you of, oh, I can't lose this money because if I lose it, I can't pay my rent, whatever it is, you're never making the right trading decision. You're definitely not.
Exactly.
If you can still have your money coming in from another income or another business investment, whatever it is, and that's paying your bills and that's all ticking over, then you've got this prop firm funded company that you're trading for, then is that not going to make it a wee bit more easier for you and your emotions and your mindset?
100%.
And it all.
Even if it's not prop firm money, even if it's your own money, and then you still have these other businesses, it's just for like Jerome with his investment properties. If he gets out of an investment property, that doesn't make him cash anymore. So that cash gets moved to hand, and then I need to make that cash work, right, Jerome?
Yeah, 100%. Like,
so it's a little bit
control
different.
of it. It's just not passive. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think too, on the side of systematic trading, like when you talk about the rules that people use, actually, before I go that route, I want to go back to one thing you said, Lindsay. When you describe it, it sounds like the people, and I made the decision, and I'm admitting this now. It's like, what type of ego drives your decisions that you think because you have 3 months saved up, you should stop working, stop doing your other business, whatever career it is, and go all in on trading? That's all ego in that choice. That is all ego. And it's like
stressful.
What if you did that in August, and August was great, like it was for us, and then you got September and October? You probably would blow that account, if not all of it, half of it, and you'd be like, I gotta go back to work.
The same thing is, it's coming in when they, with the capital of, I'm going to start trading, I'm going to start this business, I'm going to start it with $500, and I'm going to try and get my risk management on point. You're never going to be able to do it.
I don't think so either. I get this, but wait. I got to ask you then, Lindsay, wait. So all the people that say, like, if you can trade $100, you should be able to trade $1 million.
So, shit. Sorry, I don't usually swear on videos, but
it's a crazy idea. Like, listen to me. It sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think you're right, 100%. You need, but this is where I think ASFX and our opinions differ from a lot of the trading community, where a lot of the communities like no demo accounts, get the money in there and feel the emotions. I'm like, demo, and then when you're feeling great, put the money in. And even there, I made a post about this today. I was like, put half of it in. How many more people would make money if they didn't start with 20, below 8, and then have to make it back from 12? What if you just started at 10, took 10 to 12, and then added the other 10? Now you're at 22.
Yeah.
Simple. That was just simple math. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a, you know what it is? It's like, it is ego. A lot of this. It's a lot of you feeling like it's your time as a trader. You're going to make the money now. You can quit the job now. You can go all in now. That's all your ego, when the market will literally destroy that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And coming back to that long-term mentality and just the slow period we have, I didn't take a trade for 6 weeks, and like a lot of people were like, why aren't you trading? I'm not, you got to think of it in a way where I'm not just going to take a trade for the sake of taking a trade. Like, I know I can put me in a very bad position. You just having that long-term mentality, like in any business, if you're trading like a business, you're going to have slow periods. You're going to have seasons where
any business
it's going to be slow.
100%.
So I think having those expectations of you're going to go, 2, 3, 4 weeks without taking a trade, it's going to happen. And that's when having discipline and that mindset of just being patient, sitting on your hands and just waiting for those clean setups that they will come around again. And like we saw today, like, you know,
I think
market
that
will
comes
turn.
down.
Yeah,
You
goodness.
don't think that comes down to the size of the account the person's trying to trade as well?
Yeah,
And
it's a part of
they
it.
don't do the maths on it to say that, you know, if I had XYZ in this account, if I was only to execute 3 trades in the month of September,
Just call it 1% risk. Right.
Yeah, I'm still going to get really good profit at the end of that by only taking the 3 trades.
Right.
But they seem to be, the traders coming in are only really looking at it as this small amount of money in this account, and they're trying to grow it the wrong ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I think too, the conversation today has been a lot about like staying alive, staying patient. I think overall, to be a more disciplined trader, you have to understand everything that we're talking about. And that's why we try to push through these conversations and keep them on some type of a direction and some type of a theme. But I think for a lot of new traders, maybe what we could do here, let's give them one thing that each of us do to constantly stay patient. For me, I will tell you, it's meditation. I wake up in the morning, my mind normally just clicks on. Like Riley is the kind of person where she'll lay in bed and snuggle by herself and feel all comfy, and she'll get up 30 minutes later. I'm not like that. If I'm up, body's already working, it's time to go. So when I get to the desk, I've already probably looked at emails, already probably looked at Instagram for a second while I was taking a piss or whatever. My mind is already going. So before I trade, or this is just this last year and a half, 2 years that this has really helped me, 10 minutes of meditation. I think for every trader, it can't hurt you. What are you going to do? Miss an entry? If you miss an entry, there's way more trades. This is where the meditation comes in even more. Like it'll make you understand there's plenty of trades to come. But what do you guys think? Lynn's first. What do you got? Any tip, direct tip to stay more patient?
You know, patience just does come easy for me. It does come easy for me.
We should all practice our feminine energy. We need to get more feminine energy in here, bro.
Definitely shows.
That is such a hard question for me because I can't say I do something every single day before I come to the charts that brings me my patience, because
I would say your routine though, Lindsay. Your routine is pretty
my
good.
routine, it doesn't change, it doesn't alter. From a Monday to a Friday, it doesn't alter because I'm up, I'm a mum, I take the kids to school, and I have to say,
you're almost like a robot. You're a robot mum.
I say the school run coming back home, and I give myself about 20 minutes from dropping them off, coming home. I need a strong cup of tea, and then I come to the desk in about 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes to myself kind of brings me down.
That's your meditation.
I know I can sit.
Yeah, it's your version of meditation.
I'm not actually sitting meditating, but I just give myself.
No, but that's stillness. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Jerome, I know you mentioned earlier the back testing and the markups to really help keep you patient in the moment. Do you have any other tactics? Anything that you do regularly?
Much like routine, like your daily routine. Like if I have noticed, if something major happens in my day that just shakes me, my trading performance suffers.
Changes.
Basically having that daily routine, coming to the charts, reading over my trade plan every day. Like I got lines in there saying exactly what I need to hear, like things that keep me on track, keep me focused, keep me disciplined, and just kind of on track on taking the best setups. Even if nothing presents or I am tempted to take a trade, referring to my trade plan just kind of helps me gather my thoughts and mindfulness. And I will go on topic with meditation, like that has helped heaps. Just 10 minutes, just sitting still.
Yeah, and breathing, remembering to breathe.
Mindful. Like if I jump into the chart straight away, like, and I see a trade, like you're going to jump into it. You're just going to take a minute, like to just evaluate everything.
Dude, you're making a really good point. It's almost like if you just rush to the chart, it's almost like your brain is disconnected from your body. You could think that that's not a trade you need, but you still will take that trade because your body and brain are not aligned. And I think the stillness.
Did it not? Did that not happen to you last week?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's still,
it's happened to me. Yeah, it's happened to me.
It still happens all the time. Yeah. And I think, even this morning, I definitely felt like I wanted to jump in the GCAD, the shift candle. I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, I might be 10 minutes late, but I'm like, what's wrong with this? Like we graded it an A setup. And for those of you that are just new to ASFX or just we don't get A setups too often. So I'm like looking at this thing and I'm like, I want to be in this trade, but I'm like, I already meditated. I'm like, if this goes up, it goes up, man. Like there's going to be so many more entries. I'm laughing at it now. Cause it's like the old me, I know me, bro, I would have been stressing out, buying it, getting stopped, then trying to sell it, then buy it back. I'm like, all over the place. And it's like, where's your system at, you know? But one more thing before we wrap up today's video. I think we didn't talk about it for good reason, but it should be mentioned. Social media, in making us feel like we should be doing something. It goes kind of hand in hand with Jerome, you and I have talked about in some of our one-on-ones back in the day when you first started with ASFX about like accepting the reality of how much money you can make from trading, and it really doesn't require a lot of work. This is work. This self-development, this growth that we're all going through, it is work. So it definitely requires work, but it's a different kind of work. You're not shoveling and digging ditches, right? Or doing something like that. But you can make more money than all the crew of ditch diggers. So accepting that, and also living in a world where social media can influence us and everybody's life is perfect and blah, blah, blah. Do you guys both agree with me that those, especially the social media, you have to almost ignore it when you're coming to the trading desk? You can't look at group chats. You can't look at all this other stuff. You need to know how to trade and live and die by that, right?
Yeah. I think
I agree 100%.
You want to be fully focused and not be distracted.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And you know, I very much don't go in the chats even in hours when I'm.
You're a ghost. They don't even know you anymore.
Because I can't take my eye, especially when I'm in the trade. I just can't take my eyes off. I just have to be fully focused and know where I'm going with it. And if I turn my head and come into a chat and get so distracted,
the emotions. That's what I'm saying. The emotions come in. Right. You see somebody saying get out, somebody selling it when you're buying it, and it's like, why did I need all this clutter when I could have just followed my plan, not worried about how great everybody else is doing. And it's in no way like, am I taking away from the people standing on their Lamborghinis? Great. Like, cool. But it takes away, I think, from where we need to be focused as real traders, as people that are trying to grow consistently, you know?
Yeah. I think that September, October quiet period, I can just imagine a lot of traders, not just from ASFX, but everywhere getting into trading, if they have a slow period, they question everything.
Everything, bro. You're so right, bro.
Yeah, they question, am I doing something wrong? Am I missing something? But reality is, like, that's why I encourage everyone to do markups every day. Like, stay sharp, stay on edge, because their entries are there. The market's still behaving. You're just not getting those entry criteria you need in your checklist to get involved.
Right.
And it's just crazy because when people start going on social media and they start seeing everyone trading, making money, they feel their ego gets in the way and they feel so flat. I've been there, I've done it, but like you said, with the meditation, just being mindful and just having that long-term, trusting the plan, trusting the system, and just trusting yourself as a trader.
You just don't let that stuff get in your way. Yeah.
You can't.
Trading,
you can't let it get to you.
Right.
When you're saying, Jerome, about the back testing and things, and even on my coaching calls, that's one question I get fired at me all the time is, Lindsay, you're always talking about back testing, and Jerome, you're the same, Austin's the same, we're always talking about it, but I don't think we realise how much we actually do go in and back test. You know, we're not just sitting here for an hour every week. We're in the charts every day, and some people don't get that, though. They don't grasp that. We've had to watch the course 10 times to grasp that small bit of education.
That's a great point,
Lindsay. They think they're just going to get it like that. I had a coaching call yesterday and I said, how many times done the course? Once. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, again, that even, I feel you're so right, Liz. And I feel like that goes back to what we said earlier about like the actual work. Like,
and it's ego. That's ego. That is ego for guys.
What makes you? Oh, it definitely is. Like, what makes you think you're going to grasp it when you read it?
Once.
What book have you read once and grasped the whole thing?
He said to me,
Other than
how many
Cat in the
times have you done it? I said, I think I did like the D1 course. I said, because I couldn't grasp it initially. So I must have done that over 20 times.
Right.
I said, so that's what I'm talking about.
It's not even that. It's not even just watch and talk with me and watch video. It's like, let me go. Right. It's like, then you sit down at the desk and you're going through trade ideas, looking at a chart. I think any good trader, you could quote me on this, any good trader spends more time studying than trading and more time studying than on social media. If you spend all of your time studying your system, you don't need anything else, bro. That's why we got into trading. It writes the ticket. It writes the ticket. No, but this is really, it's just good, Jerome. Yeah.
It's funny because like coming from like a 9 to 5 for so long, like I'm doing more work in trading. Like trading offers 100%. So much freedom and free time. But
different work.
It's sharpening your edge, staying disciplined. Like you said, a whole self-development type of thing. Like you know, you're focusing on your physical body, your health, like it's just a whole,
it
it's a
all
whole
works
package.
together. It is
Yeah.
it's the job of I washed dishes when I was in high school. That 9 to 5 sucked. Like I would go in after school and I'd wash dishes and I'd work on the weekends. That work is kind of easy. I showed up, scrubbed the dishes, took people's orders, whatever, left. Never had to think about it. But this, dude, I mean, look, I'm wearing beads on my wrist. I got crystals. I'm reading all these books. Like right now, look at this book that I'm reading. It's called The New Earth, about just awakening your life's purpose. Like, bro, this work is way harder for me than anything else, but also way more rewarding. And that's why we do it. Exactly.
And coming back to this, like, as a few people know, like in the beginning of my trading, I actually, because I had all this free time, and my wife was still working, I got a part-time job,
right,
just to fill in that morning void, because I trade at night, and just to kind of deal with my mental health, because I'm just sitting here all alone. I had to get out, interact, see people, social
actual interaction.
Yeah. So what I gather from that, my mindset, working that job, coming home with a steady paycheck, I was slacking in everything I was doing with trading.
Right.
Because it was that safety net.
It is a trap. It is a trap.
It is. And it was just crazy to see, like, I could come home and relax. But with entrepreneurship, it's 24/7. You like, I can't shut off. Like, it's constant. It's 24/7. I want to improve with trading.
Listen, because we don't want to talk down on people that want that. There are some people that actually want that. You know what I mean? And I think,
there's nothing wrong with it. No,
nothing wrong with it. Exactly. You gotta know yourself.
Exactly. And that it was so much resistance. I had to leave. So you got to just stick to
it's
what
interesting how the
enjoy,
job made you complacent. It's like you were so impacted by the people around you, it made you complacent. But when you're left on your own, all you're doing is now getting back into shape. I see you picking up those weights. Look at your fucking arms, bro. Like now you're pushing yourself in all these areas to be the best version of yourself. A 9 to 5 doesn't make you do that, bro. But that pursuit, this is a great point to, but that pursuit of being the best version of yourself, and mentally, physically, when it comes to awareness, it all translates into making you the best trader that you can be. So I think for everybody listening, I think they're definitely going to pull value on this video, out of this video, just on not only staying alive, but implementing this mindset. Again, like, as much as we as coaches want to teach the strategy, the A1, the D1, the D2, what we're really teaching people in these videos is how to think. For the people that watch 35, 40 minutes of us talking, we're trying to get them thinking differently, and realizing that for yourself is a huge thing that I think a lot of people will hear, and they'll be like, do I do that too? Because they probably do. We're all humans. We all do the same shit. You know what I mean? So I think that this video is definitely going to be valuable to everybody who watches. So let's do this. If you watched all the way through, we appreciate it, first of all. Second of all, comment below any questions that you have. And also, let us know how you look to continue this pursuit of, we'll call it like solo survival, where you're on your own. You can't get distracted by this other stuff. You can't get sucked into the media, social media, or the 9 to 5 that'll hold you back. So how are you, the person listening, staying focused on survival and staying focused on patience in your trading? I'm interested to see what you guys comment. But Jerome, it's always good to talk to you, bro. I know you're on the other side of the whole world, so I appreciate it. Lindsay, you're halfway between me and Jerome, so it's a nice little hop and a skip that we get to make this happen. But this is really awesome. I'm so grateful for you guys. I can't thank you enough. I really, 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 really mean it, because without the internet, first of all, this would never be happening. But now that we have the internet to take advantage of this and learn from each other, and hopefully the people watch and learn from us too. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Austin.